Hello and welcome to Between Ends, Bowl Show on BBTV. I'm Jimmy Whitehead, Events and Competitions Manager at Bowls Victoria, and I'm joined as always by Josh Thornton. Josh, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Jimmy. No, great to be back this week. Another great show, another great guest coming up along a little bit later, and looking forward to talking all things bowls in Victoria.
Yeah, we got the one and only Mr. Bryan Sheehan joining us from the City Bowls Club in Warrnambool. Good mate of ours, Josh, Bryan. So it'd be interesting to have a chat with him, see what's going on down there. I know he's already warned me earlier that he's been studying the form up in Melbourne, so he's got his tips ready. He reckons he's going to be the knight in shining armour for the regional guest tipper. So let's see how he goes with that. Just before we get kicked off, we just like to give a shout out to BCIB, who are our Metropolitan Pennant partners for this year. So for all your insurance needs at your club, get in touch with BCIB, who are the bowling club specialists for insurance. Josh, let's have a quick look at the ladder after last week's round in Premier League. Couple of teams taking a first loss for the season. Melbourne picked right at the end by Altona, losing by one shot, so they're only on the 2 wins now. I've spoke to a few of the boys this week. It was a real close one, Josh, and I think Melbourne led by about 7 or 8 with about 3 ends to go, and Altona got the job done.
When I heard the word that they got beaten, I was surprised. As I said, I think we both picked Melbourne thinking they were going to win, but a loss this time of the year doesn't hurt a side like Melbourne. I still think they're one of the teams to beat. There's no doubt about that. It does leave us with 2 undefeated sides now in Bundoora and Deer Park. So they are shaping as the teams to beat at this stage, but there's plenty of season to go, Jimmy.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Deer Park we watched pretty comfortably in the end beat MCC. They were sort of in front most of the game and just extended the lead towards the end. Bundoora will be interesting. They get their fly-ins this week, Josh?
I'm not telling you yet, Jimmy. We're going to wait till the tipping and you go first, and then I'll make my predictions after that.
Well, since I lead this show, mate, we'll be leading you into the tip first. Talking of the tipping, let's bring that ladder up. I've spoke to marketing. I reckon we can just can this part of the segment. It's pretty much done. I'm 2 in front already. You went wrong with Lilydale over Clayton last week. Poor call. So yeah, I'm what, 2 in front of you, 3 or 4 in front of the regional guest now. So should we call it, or are we just going to drag it out a few more weeks?
How many rounds to go, Jimmy?
A few more.
Yeah, no, I think there's plenty of time where you will definitely come unstuck, and plenty of time for me to rectify myself, and we'll see what happens.
No chance, mate. Looking ahead to our game of the round this week, which is Mentone versus Altona, which is a Friday night game this week, so make sure you're tuning in. 7 p.m. start from Mentone. Our first look at Mentone, Josh. Bit of a tough start. 0-3 after 3. Bit of a tough loss at Croydon last week. That a game they would have expected to try and get a win from. Altona coming off the back of the win we just mentioned against Melbourne. How are you sort of seeing this one go down?
Well, and again, I was very optimistic about Mentone this year based off who they had as their imports, and they haven't had many this year. Their marquee players haven't been playing outside, I think, Tony Wood last week, but in terms of previewing this match and looking at the rinks for the match, I actually think it's Mentone's best side for the year. They got Michael Wilkes coming in playing, who will be part of our live streaming ringside match, and they have Tony Wood obviously playing as well too. So it's their best chance. They're playing at home. They tend to go not bad at home, particularly if they're at full strength. I give them a real good shake of actually winning the match. But I'm probably going to lean this way at the moment with Altona based off their form beating Melbourne last week.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree with you with the ins for Mentone. I think they're going to help. Michael Wilkes, extremely successful player, Victorian returning to play in the Victorian Premier League. So it'd be interesting to watch him go up against Dane McKinnon, which will be our stream rink. He's got Benny Lachlan as his third, who we know state representative for Victoria, both of them. So that'll be an interesting matchup. We've been with 3 from 3 in our streaming rink so far. They've all gone down to the last end. I think this will be 4 from 4, to be honest. I think it'll go real close. I'm leaning towards tipping Mentone at home. I really am. But I'm going to stick with my tried and tested technique of just matching your tips so I don't lose any crap. So I don't lose any points here. So I'm going to tip Altona as well. I think that win last week against Melbourne is huge for their confidence. They've lost 2 close games against MCC, our first string game of the season. Close loss to Clayton the following week as well. So I think they'll back this one up again and get the win over Mentone. I do see this one being relatively close, though. I think there'll only be 10 to 15 shots in it max. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. I think Mentone might take a couple of rinks as well. Next up will be Melbourne Lilydale. Where's your tip going on that one?
Oh, why don't you go first, Jimmy? Well, I thought that was going to be the deal.
Mate, this is an easy one to tip for me. I don't think I'll tip too many times against Melbourne. Josh, we've got the team that scored the most shots so far in Premier League in Melbourne. We've also got the side that's conceded the least shots in Premier League this year, which is Melbourne, going up against a side that hasn't had a win, that has conceded the second most amount of shots. I'm tipping Melbourne. I know a lot of players at Lilydale. I've got some great respect for them. I think they're terrific bowlers. But the way I've sort of had conversations with a few of the boys at Melbourne this week, I see this one being a pretty comprehensive victory for Melbourne. I think they'll probably go close to getting all 4 rinks and they'll put a considerable amount of shots over Lilydale.
I didn't realise I had Bruce McAvaney joining me with the stats there, but I will go with Melbourne as well. I think they're going to be too strong for Lilydale this week.
Bit of another tough game to call this week. Yarraville Footscray versus Croydon. Yarraville Footscray 1 and 2. They won the first game of the season over at Lilydale, which was sort of a 50-50 game in my mind. They've backed it up with 2 relatively close losses. The Deer Park one they could have pushed a bit further than they did. Bundoora game, apparently they were in that game as well. Going against Croydon, who have performed pretty well so far, we think. They've picked up a win last week against Mentone, which is very important for them. Obviously, this one is a pretty tough game to call. I can give it to both sides. I'm going to lean towards Yarraville Footscray just with that Premier League experience, home green advantage. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go the other way. But I'm going to go with Yarraville.
Yeah, look, I'm with you the same. I think they got the better side on paper. They're at home. And I just think their experience in regards to that will be enough for them to get over the line at this stage.
Big one, MCC versus Bundoora. Bundoora undefeated, top of the ladder at the moment, playing away at MCC. We know their green runs fabulous, 16, 17 seconds on a good day, which will suit both sides. They've got some fantastic draw bowlers in both sides. You seem to know who's in for Bundoora and I don't. I haven't done the phone calls around this week. Another tough game to tip. I mean, look, if Corey, Wedlock and Gary Kelly are in for Bundoora, I'm comfortable in tipping Bundoora. If they're not, I think it's more of a closer game. Having now seen MCC for 3 weeks in a row, I think their biggest asset is missing this week, which will be me. I won't be around the green for them to sort of feed off the energy and get them pumped up and having chats with the players before the game. So I think part of their team talk, they're just going to have to recognise that and accept that at the start. I want to tip Bundoora on this one, mate. I think they'll get the job done at MCC.
I'm a little disappointed with your tip. My intel is that both fly-ins are playing this week. And I was probably going to be the same as you anyway and probably pick Bundoora regardless. But the fact that both Gary Kelly and Corey Wedlock are playing gives me the confidence to tip Bundoora on that one.
Yeah, and then Clayton versus Deer Park. Later kickoff for that one on Saturday afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Clayton sort of good win last week. I saw Ali Forsyth on Tuesday night. I overheard him talking to one of our guys about where their season is at the moment, where they want to be in a few games. I think they've got a tough run up until Christmas now, and this is a game that they're looking to try and take. They're good at home. They perform well in their home greens. Deer Park have made some changes to their side, switched a skip around. James Pearce back skipping now. I think this will be a good game. I think this will be a real tight game. I think Deer Park will get it done, and that's where my tip's going to go. But I think it's going to be another one that's going to be worth watching if you're in the area.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. Clayton didn't have as strong as lineup as I expected them to go out with last week, and they still got the chocolates, obviously, over at Lilydale. And that I thought was a very impressive win. Everyone knows
Who did you tip in that one?
I did tip Lilydale, so it was a sore point from my end. But I like the fact that Deer Park's done what they've done. They're not being complacent. They're not resting on their laurels. They've had 3 wins so far, and they're going, right, there's still things aren't right yet. We can make some moves to make us even better, and that gives me the confidence in the way they're approaching things, and I feel like they're going to get the win over Clayton.
All right, so at least we can film next week's segment now. I'm still 2 ahead of you in the tipping ladder, no matter what happens, Josh. So this is great. It's going to plan, mate. Just before we bring in Bryan Sheehan, I want to give a shout out to Pakenham and Berwick. They're playing Friday night. this Friday night. 6:30 p.m. start, I think, maybe 6 p.m. Check on Bowls Link, it's on there. That game is going to be streamed. They're doing some streaming themselves, so you can watch that for an hour before you flick over to the Mentone versus Altona game. But hats off to the guys at both Pakenham and Berwick. Pakenham, obviously, with the new facility, they're undercover. They're trying to do some promotion for the sport. They're trying to bring people in their area. So congrats on them, and I wish you all the success with your streaming on Friday night. We'll be back with Bryan shortly, Josh.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome back, and I'm joined by Mr. Bryan Sheehan, Bowls Development Coordinator at the City Bowls Club Warrnambool. Bryan, how you doing, mate?
Going fantastic, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on, mate.
Oh, anytime. We got rid of Josh as well, so it's perfect. The B side of this operation is no longer. It's just me and you. We can focus on the real stuff and not have to listen to Josh. How's things going down in the Western District playing area? You guys are off to a rocky start here at City Bowls Club Warrnambool.
Yeah, with our Pennant, we've had 4 rounds, and the team that I played was supposed to be in Div 1, was supposed to be the top side, and we've only had 1 win out of 4. And our second side, they've had 4 wins out of 4, so they're actually calling our team the Dirty Dozen at the moment. So
I spoke to Kevin Carlin, and he reckons it's all your fault, Bryan. That's he's passing the blame your way. Who's playing well down there? Who's top of the ladder?
Yeah, top of the ladder, Warrnambool Gold. They're always a really good side. So they've won 4 from 4 at the moment, and they're going to be a hard team to beat, that's for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, with the change in divisions to playing areas this year, was there any thought given to some form of Premier League down in West Coast, or is travel too far and too much of an issue?
I believe so. There was talk about it, and would have been the perfect time to do it, but obviously that didn't get off the ground. So we'll wait and see what happens in time.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. And how's it all going with the state events? They've all kicked off now down there as well?
Yeah, we've had what have we had? I'll just go to my list here. We've had the men's and ladies triples and the men's and ladies over 60s pairs have both been completed. The men's and ladies pairs are in progress, and the men's and ladies over 60 singles and singles will start next week. So we're slowly working through them.
They're slowly getting back to normal life. Now, before we have a bit of a chat about how City Bowls Club Warrnambool's going, you'd be familiar with the fact that we get our regional guests to tip the Premier League each week, to tip the results.
Yeah,
we're thinking of calling the comp off, to be honest, Bryan. I'm that far ahead. Just my knowledge of Metro Pennant's just far superior, it appears, to anyone who comes up against me. But we reckon you're going to be the knight in shining armour here. So I'll run through the games quickly. Give us your tip. So our Friday night game this week's Mentone versus Altona on the stream. Who are you going for there?
Yeah, I've done my form, Jimmy, and I like Altona in this one.
Yeah, good call. The mighty Melbourne Demons up against Lilydale next.
It pains me to say it, but I've got to say Melbourne in that one, Jimmy.
Yarraville Footscray versus Croydon.
Definitely Yarraville Footscray for mine.
Yep. So there's Les Johnson's playing up there from Koroit, isn't he? This year?
Spot on. It's hard to tip against Les. He's a fair rider.
MCC versus Bundoora.
MCC for me.
Yeah, MCC. Wow. Yeah, good call.
Yep.
Bundoora a good side this year, undefeated.
Yeah. No, I've had a look at the form, mate. I think if you've gone for Bundoora, obviously.
Yeah, me and Josh both went to Bundoora.
No, that's good. It
was a 50-50 game. And then the last game is Clayton versus Deer Park.
Yeah, I'm going for the upset here, Jimmy. I'm going for Clayton.
Oh, it's gone the risk. It's not a bad tip. I think Clayton will push Deer Park close. It should be good. All right, we'll see how you come out from that. You need a couple of them to go your way. Otherwise, the regional guest is going to be a fair way behind. But fingers crossed for you.
I'm looking forward to the results.
So City Bowls Club Warrnambool, pretty big couple of weeks for you guys. Talk us through the recent awards you've won down there.
Yeah, we've won the regional sports club of the year, which was a fantastic award for us. It's great recognition for for the work our whole team has put in at the club. You've seen it when you were down here last January, right from our fearless leader, Julie Dosser, the board of management, all the staff and the members. We work as a team, and it's a great reward for everyone. So we're really happy with that one.
That's great stuff. So that's for the entire club. So the bistro, the bowl side, the gaming inside as well, and the functions as well.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
awesome.
It's just the whole package.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I mean, I know, look, as you mentioned, we know firsthand the experience we had down there with the state champs and the over 60s and under 18s that we ran down there in January of this year. Just what a fantastic job you guys do. So hats off from all of us at Bowls Victoria. We're rapt that you guys are getting the recognition that you deserve down there.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy.
Talk us through some tournaments. I know you've got a big January, February coming up, not just at your club in Warrnambool, but also at Warrnambool Bowls Club as well.
Yeah, some really big tournaments coming up, Jimmy. The Warrnambool Bowls Club, they've got the Aussie Broadband New Year's Triples. It's on Wednesday the 5th and Thursday the 6th of January. It's a $12,000 in prize money, $6,000 to the winners. That tournament is full at the moment, but Paul O'Donnell, the bowls coordinator, is keen to take some extra teams in case there's some pullouts. So you can contact them through the Warrnambool Bowls Club Facebook site, or phone the Warrnambool Bowls Club and speak to Paul O'Donnell. He'll certainly help you out there. They also have their annual Ladies Prestige Pairs Tournament. That's Wednesday 26th, Thursday 27th, and Friday 28th of January. 3 days. That's $12,000 in prize money as well. So that's always a big event. And then Warrnambool Bowls Club also got their annual Autumn Classic Pairs and Fours tournament. And that's on Tuesday, starts on Tuesday the 19th of April, goes for 6 days, 3 days of pairs, 3 days of fours. So you can play in both, or you can just play in the pairs, just play in the fours. There's money every day for that, $24,000 in all. So that's always a great tournament at the end of the bowl season. All ranking points tournaments, of course. So, yeah, contact Paul O'Donnell at the Warrnambool Bowls Club if anyone's interested in playing any of those tournaments. At our club, City Bowls Club, we've got our 33rd Des Notley Memorial Classic Pairs. That's on January 26th and 27th. I've still got about 6 spots left in that. That's a ranking points tournament as well. So it'll fill up pretty quick from now on. So you can give me a call at the club or get onto our Facebook site.
No, awesome, mate. It seems like there's a heap going on down there, which is fantastic. I know it's a beautiful part of Victoria as well. So if you haven't been down there, make sure you're getting down to Warrnambool for what seems some amazing prize money up for grabs. Bryan, we appreciate you coming on, mate. I've got no doubt we'll catch up on later in the season just to sort of see how things are tracking going into the end of the year. But we appreciate your time. Keep doing all the good work that you guys are doing at the City Bowls Club Warrnambool, and we thank you for coming on, mate.
No worries. Thanks, Jimmy. You have a great day.
Thanks, mate. And don't forget, our stream game this week is Mentone versus Altona, Friday night at 7 p.m. You can catch that on the Bowls Vic Facebook page, the Bowls Vic website, and it'll be later put up on YouTube. Don't forget to give the page a like and a share as well. That's all for this week, and we'll catch you next week on Between Ends. We'll have a guest from Mornington Peninsula, Mr. Phil Crowder, on with us. Take care.
Play in any weather at City Bowls Club Warrnambool with our new state-of-the-art roof installed over 2 greens, LED lights and an electronic scoreboard. Enjoy a drink and watch the action from our beautiful 90-seat greenside alfresco area, with opportunities for casual bowlers, school groups and corporate events. City Bowl Warrnambool has it covered. City Bowls Club, the club for everyone. Kramer Street, Warrnambool.